And that goes to the next thing, talk about brand, is your web domain. It has to be memorable. It has to be, think about it. Don't you agree? Yeah.
I don't really care about like the web, like for instance, zoom.us. Like I don't really care about like the domain. Like are you talking about .coms?
Like a .com.
No, I completely disagree. Hello and welcome to the Hustle Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and tactics from entrepreneurs who have done it. Today, we're talking about dropshipping. And in today's podcast, we're having a two-part podcast for you, where in part one, we're just going to talk about the overall dropshipping industry, the market, what are the opportunities, what are some pros and cons, and then we're going to interview a professional dropshipper and get his behind-the-scenes story of what it takes to have a 7-figure dropshipping store. So, Owen, would you mind telling the people what dropshipping is?
Precisely. I can definitely do that.
Let's go.
So if you're new to dropshipping and you don't really understand what it is, dropshipping is the fastest way for you to set up a business online without really having the product physically at hand. So what you can do is you can work with a supplier. Most of them are in China, some here in Canada and in the US, but you can connect your store if you're using a Shopify store, Squarespace. You can create a website and you can use their product to set up your store. So when someone orders a product from your website, essentially what you're doing is you're going to that supplier's inventory and you're placing the order on behalf of the customer, and the supplier is going to ship that product to that customer. So you, as the business owner, you are essentially not seeing the product physically. The person who is a supplier is handling everything for you, and you just worry about making money and marketing the business and growing the business. So in a nutshell, that's what dropshipping is. It's a fast way to get started, build a business, and also see if the product is worth selling to continue on further with that business.
So let's get into the pros and cons of dropshipping.
As easy as it sounds, there's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons, and there's some pros to it, but let's get into it.
Number one is little to no inventory. You just talked about it and we can dive deeper here.
Yes.
The part of it that makes it easy to jump into is the little to no inventory. You literally have to have nothing to get started. So you can be in your pajamas at home, not doing anything, sipping some tea.
Yep.
What tea do you drink?
I drink I'm not a tea drinker.
Not a tea drinker?
I mean, I drink some. There's this one tea I love drinking. It's called Bengali Spice.
Yes.
You know Bengali Spice?
Hell yes, I do.
Yes.
That's like the one tea.
Bengal Spice. But I added Bengali to it just because I had a little like
You know what's funny? My family does the same thing.
Bengali? Say word.
Say exact same thing.
Wow. I thought like I was here being unique. I was trying to add a little flavor to it. Like, you say Valley Village, but you say Valley Village.
Oh my God.
To make it sound a little bit bougie.
VV Boutique.
Like, where'd you get this Valley Village?
Yeah, VV Boutique is my thing.
You get me. But man, the whole inventory, having no inventory about dropshipping is the best thing ever, man. Like, you literally have no excuse if you're trying to make money and you say you want to start a business. This is the best way you can get started. Like, legit, you have no business skills. This is the best way to really test out your ability and your skills to get started. As you said, in your pajamas, you have a MacBook Pro, you have a Lenovo, whatever computer you use. Simply just sign up for one of these e-commerce websites that you can set up a store and you're in business, legit. And you even have a 14-day trial. So the whole no inventory aspect of it is beautiful, but it's also very dangerous at the same time because there's so many products out there you can sell, but the margins and everything, we can get into the margins of it, but it's very competitive to sell these products. So you have to think about it. If the person is giving you the ability to sell it, there's other people who are also selling the product at the same time. So how are you going to differentiate that product on your store compared to someone else who has the same store? Like, what's going to make you stand out? Which is also, pardon?
Which is a con.
This is just a con too.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that on the cons list. Number 3 is ease of testing.
Mm-hmm.
Ease of testing is simple because you can set up a Shopify store and literally start testing ads for that, or test how the website goes in a simple second. You can try a day, run some money behind it, and see how it goes, yes or no, and cut it or continue to do it.
Yeah.
It's that simple, Number 4 minimum upfront costs. We already talked about that, so I think everyone is on board already. And the next is no logistics needed.
Yeah.
You know, so with no logistics, of course, what that means is people can easily get product shipped to you from China or from where the supplier is. Because some people that are in Toronto too are Printful or Printify. It's another one that's very big in the drop shipping space. So those are some pros of drop shipping. What are some cons, man? We got a few. You got about 4 here that is super important to think about. Long shipping times.
Man, this is a killer. We're talking about starting a dropshipping website in 2022. This is one of those things that we as shoppers, as general people who are living, when we buy things these days, we have like this expectancy of it arriving immediately, right? I say that is in 2 to 3 days shipping times, because Amazon has ruined the game for us. So if you're starting a dropshipping website and you're looking to start this process, you have to be really clear with your customers that this is going to take a long time. It's one thing to order a product from a website and not being sure how long that's going to be. Because if you can bring people to the website, you're always harping on the fact that you want to increase the LTV of that customer. You want them coming back. You want them becoming an advocate of the product. So what are some ways that you can do that? If you know that shipping time takes is a long process, tell them, hey, this is a long shipping time because we're taking pre-orders. So you can say, you can use a pre-order front to it and say, we're taking pre-orders, so this is going to take a while. You can just say, hey, due to the high demand of people ordering this product, this will take some time for you to receive your product. Either way you want to put it, craft it in a way where it's honest to the customer that this is going to take a long time. But there's some ways to circumvent these cons at the same time as well. You can say, if this is the product that I'm going to be selling and this is a supplier I'm working with, which other suppliers have that same product that perhaps can send it to me in about 7 to 10 days, right? Instead of like 14 days business days. Because if you're using Chinese suppliers, they can take months. There's some horror stories I've seen on YouTube of someone ordering like a product from Alibaba, and it took a while for them to get that product, like 3 months. They even forgot about it. Yeah. Even my sister did the same thing. She ordered like, I think some hair stuff, like
some hair extensions.
Like she forgot about it. Yeah. Right. She comes back from school one day, sees something in the mail, and the mail, it just smells toxic. It just smells horrible at the same time. So I'm like, it's like, yo, what is this? I'm like, you got a package? I'm like, did you order? I'm like, no, I don't remember ordering anything. She opens the thing. It's like all this, I think it was like extensions, something having to do with hair, but it's like wrapped in bubble. It smells like a factory, all these like Chinese wrappers behind it and everything. It just looked like horrible packaging. And there's another thing about at the same time, like if you're trying to create a customer experience, another con to add to that is packaging. If you're trying to impress your customer, make them coming back, do you really want them to have that impression of opening a package and it smells like a factory, some toxic chemicals and whatever coming through like the borders and everything like that? No. So how do we shorten the shipping times? Find a supplier who works near you, or perhaps in like another country, let's say Canada, US. But the other side of that is higher prices you got to pay for a custom, like a domestic product then, because the reason why you're drop shipping is, the Chinese, they have lower costs. So find a closer supplier, but you're going to have to pay top dollar, meaning that your customer is going to have to pay more to get your product. So you can test out the product, see how many orders you get. Then you can order like maybe 200-300 units of that product. So you can have it in your house. So when someone orders it, you can just ship it to them.
No, most definitely. To add on to that, with long shipping times, if you start getting bad reviews and start getting bad ratings, your Facebook ad account can get shut down.
And you've gotten your ad, you've gone through like Facebook ad account getting shut down. Like, what's the process of like appealing that?
It takes a long time. You got to go through multiple email chains and talk to people. Luckily I'm an agency partner, so I don't have to deal with that as much anymore. It's been pretty smooth sailing, but it is something that happens. And I'm very selective with my clientele as well. But if you have something that's like a bikini or something like that, and they complain once and they look at your website and see a bikini, you're gone.
So the way Facebook works, because marketing is one big thing about drop shipping that you're gonna have to do
and we'll get there,
to give like the way that process works, because some of these products people sell can be banned because people will complain once they don't get their product, they have a bad review. So how does that work? Is there someone on Facebook? Is it like AI that looks at your website and really understands, or how do they understand you can't sell this? This is a bad product. You're false advertising. So people are aware when they get into this dropshipping business.
Facebook gives the customer a form of how we're shopping with your company, and if you fill that out, if that form gets filled out in a bad way, it's over for you. Over for you. Facebook is knocking you out. Your account's getting banned, and it's over. It's done.
Facebook is that lethal. Like
that lethal. They will cancel your whole business, no problem. Cancel your ad account, or what they could do too is you can like get permanently banned where your IP address cannot create another ad account. If they see your IP address in their creating ad account, they're like dox you. It's really bad.
So they sound like the FBI, man. It's like the CIA. They're like the ad CIA.
No, it's a real thing. If you to go on YouTube and just search up other people's experiences, you'll see that getting ad accounts banned is a regular thing. So what people will do is they'll create names in their parents' name, and their friend's name, and their girlfriend's name, and their boyfriend's name, just so they can have another ad account, or they let their Facebook friends know so they can get like another account to create an ad account off, because they'll ban your personal Facebook account to create another ad account. Because let's take a step back. Every ad account has to have a Facebook profile attached to it, right? So if my profile gets banned, I got to go to my mom's. You get me? And that's how that works. So what people do too is they also use VPNs and create a whole other profile as well. But if you have no friends, Facebook won't let you enter the actual ad account, because you need to have a certain amount of friends to look like your real profile, to stop people from just scamming and creating a whole bunch of networks of profiles and just going for it. So there's a whole methodology and like a whole nuanced thing of actually getting your ad account up and running continuously. Some things that you can do if you're really trying to go full force is create an agency ad account, or try to talk to somebody to become an agency, because we have more benefits than the regular day advertiser. So those are some suggestions there. But yeah, bad reviews can really hurt your business, because what some people will do is say, hey, I want to have a legit check on your website, and look up Trustpilot, look up Google on your business, and if it doesn't come back good, like, it's over for you. So one bad review can really ruin a lot, so you really have to be careful with your shipping times, because that's something that people will actually complain about or comment about on another platform, But let's keep it pushing. The next thing that's super important is the competitiveness of drop shipping. Once someone sees that a product is working, people are swarming around that product. The hardest part about drop shipping is that the ease of entry is super low. Like the barrier of entry, is super low. So it's easy for anybody to like scour the internet and find a product. So you really have to be strategic in how you're finding your winning product. Like we mentioned earlier, going on TikTok and seeing, TikTok made me buy it at hashtags. But is that the best way to find something that's unique? It's still tough. You really have to find something that's on the trajectory of going up into a population or a niche in order to find a winning product. There's multiple ways to go about it. Another one that we can mention is Jungle Scout, that scours Amazon. And I know you mentioned some other ones. I think we got here.
I mentioned
Teeve, yeah. Mentioned Teeve.co. SEM Rush is a big one. Let's see, what else we got?
Google Trends,
Uber Suggest, keywords everywhere. I think that's a good amount to start with.
Yeah.
How else can people deal with competitiveness for dropshipping?
The best way to deal with competitiveness in dropshipping, especially since everybody's doing the same thing, is you need to create a strong brand behind your product. a strong brand is going to take you a long way. You can have a website selling a women's bra, and I've seen this actually, but the way that they have it set up with the brand and like actually having models and actually showcasing, user generated content behind the product, this goes a long way in actually cultivating trust behind your customers. So if I go to one website which is selling what's like a men's item I can think of right now, let's say beard oil or something like that, and it's just like a regular off brand, even if you have like a name behind it, but the way you have set up your website, the way that the product descriptions look like, the actual someone using, let's say if it's like a video on the website, someone applying the beard oil, a customer like from Instagram having your image of the image of the product on their hands and them using it. This goes a long way to really showcasing how the product works. So having a strong brand as a dropshipper is extremely important. It's a make or break, especially in this era that we live in right now. People buy from people they trust. And if they can't trust your company, they can't trust your product, then you're not going to get any sales. You can spend as much money on Facebook ads and all this marketing behind it, but if you don't have real images of people using it, if you don't have good reviews of the product, or even having physical images of like the product on the website, because the one thing about dropshipping is I can easily import images from AliExpress and say that is as an image, but smart shoppers can reverse engineer the image on Google and actually find that image everywhere. And I actually saw this with one tool. It was one product about it was a teeth stain remover. And it looked like a toothbrush, but at the end of it had like a prong to it, like a metal prong, which you can actually like use a vibrator behind it, and you can actually just clean the tar off your teeth. So I was like, wow, that's a great product. Me as an entrepreneur, I'm thinking, I want to sell that. That looks like a product that it solves a problem. A lot of people would definitely buy this. It looks cute, like it's pink, blue, like a lot of girls would want to use this. So what I do is like, okay, let me check out this website. So I got the ad on Instagram. I saved the ad and I went to the website later on my laptop, and I just like looked at teeth stain remover on Google. I saw like maybe 3-4 websites that sell like a similar product. Then I went to AliExpress and then I searched it up and I saw that same product on AliExpress. I'm like, like this is a great product. Like this solves a problem. But the one thing this company didn't have is they didn't have a great brand. They just had a picture of and this was the dead giveaway. They had like the stock image. It was like a Chinese woman using it. And you as a dropshipper, like, okay, this is a dropship product. Like nothing wrong with having a Chinese woman behind it, but it just looked too overdone. It looked too manufactured. It didn't seem authentic enough.
Yeah, they'd be looking crazy out here.
Yeah,
they'd be like super smiling. It's way too much. Overkill on the energy. Extra. I'm like, God damn, like at least put some effort into like, hoodwinking me a little bit here, So that's one thing you can do. So if I had that same product, I'd have created a great brand. I'd have used influencer marketing, get some influencers behind this, and use those images on my website with people saying, hey, this is a great tool. This is a great product. And then that drives the trust and it drives more purchases down the line. How would you get these influencers the product? What platform would you use? How would you do that?
Today, I'd use a platform like TikTok. I'll get them to use a lot more vertical video.
How would you reach out to them on TikTok? Like, what would be the...
What would I reach out?
Yeah, like how would you get those influencers in it? Like, let's like walk through it.
Walk through it? Yeah. Okay. So I'd categorize the influencers that I want to use. So this way would be like in the health and beauty space. I'd see a lot of people who are, talking about image or grooming, and especially for women and men's grooming, and form relationships with them. I would understand like what their budget is, like for, having a post, having a reel, and for how long they would keep it up for. And then create like if they agree to it, I'll create a custom code for these influencers to really understand what, who's driving the most traffic and who's driving the most purchases. If I were to be starting right now and I don't have the money for an influencer, I'd create an affiliate marketing program with an influencer. So if they're not an influencer who who's really expensive. I'll be, hey, do you want to promote this product, and I can actually have a revenue sharing with you. So even though like I'm not paying you like $500 for this, you can actually make more money by actually just promoting this code on your YouTube channel, on your TikTok, and driving them to that. Because I'm starting out, I don't have 10 grand to pay, maybe let's say 5K for an influencer marketing budget. So why not
have 5K?
I mean, like, bro, like if I'm looking to create a splash in there, I need some money to back me up a little bit.
No, I would say use Node, bro. No,
So you're
or
plugging
I mean, not
Node.
just plug because Node is a client of mine. So
It's a
let me
client of
be
yours.
let me be very transparent. There's several platforms you can use. You can use Node. You can use influencer marketing, influencer marketing hub. Pardon me. You can use Billow, but I've seen horrible Billows.
Paid?
I got to keep it a buck. Some Billows like
Billow?
Yeah, I think I showed you the Billow.
You did.
Remember I won't say the brand name, but the brand that makes jewelry.
Like a major brand
Yeah, not a major brand. A brand we worked with. You know what I'm saying?
we worked with.
Yes. The photo shoot.
You
know what I'm saying?
Alright.
So they made a Billow, and bro, it looked horrible.
Oh, you
Horrible.
showed me
Remember this now.
the ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were so cringe.
It was cringe.
Like
It
my
was,
skin was crawling. I was like, ugh.
yeah.
Like, get this away from me.
The word.
I was disgusted.
So, to keep it a buck, like the Billows have been absolute trash.
Mhm.
And for people, the marketing dudes on Twitter, I'm sure it's on Twitter, this part right here, because it was so real. And I keep seeing it consistently, like the Billows, just like they ain't hitting.
Really?
Ain't hitting.
Wow.
But of course, everything's hit and miss,
Yeah.
You can win on Fiverr, you can lose on Fiverr.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So let me not completely trash Billow. But and Node has been good. I've seen actual like good things.
Good results out of that.
So the way Node works, it's very simple. You sign up, you post a node, which is like a ad for influencer marketing, product, service, or whatever you do, and then you can get a node within like 2 weeks. That simple.
You get a node.
Yeah, a node, which is like a node is like an influencer marketing thing, like whether it be a post, a video. They call the node like it's really interesting how you makes it. It's like so you actually post a node, which is like the ad for it, and then they give a node back, which is like the service. So
the website's full of noders.
you can say that. You can say noders. You know what I'm saying?
I need to note it.
Oh my gee.
You know that I need to Google it. I need to note
You
it.
need to note it. Note it down.
That's how you know you have a great brand, bro. Your brand takes on the actual effect of the brand.
Yeah, where like
It's like
you use a Kleenex.
A Kleenex. I Google it. I Band-Aid it.
Yeah.
What's another one we can use?
The nose is a great one.
Which one?
When you cough and you say Robitussin.
It's a Robitussin.
Oh man.
Or
Man.
you take a Buckley's, like when Dorks was coughing.
Sick, yeah.
I'm just like,
you have Buckley's?
yeah, Buckley's. It tastes whack, but
But
it
it
works.
works.
You get me?
Facts.
So
That's a
it's
fact.
like great. Like when your brand drives that, like it's even at a Vidyard,
Mhm.
right? You can just send over a Vidyard.
Yeah.
It's like a video. You're not even saying a video. You're just saying it's like a Vidyard, and it's a meaningful asynchronous video.
Yeah, you know what's funny? So like I did that for both a Loom and Vidyard. I'll send you a Loom, I'll send you a Vidyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. They both like got that.
Yeah. The brand is strong, man. The brand name is extremely important. And that goes to the next thing, talk about brand, is your web domain. It has to be memorable. It has to be, think about it. Don't you agree? Yeah.
I don't really care about like like for instance Zoom.us. Like I don't really care about like the domain. Like are you talking about .coms?
Like a .com.
No, I completely disagree.
Why?
Because look at Zoom, for example. The Zoom ends that whole debate. They could have been Zoom.com, but that's taken. So they did Zoom.us. And everybody just was like, all right, cool. As long as it works, we good, be rocking.
But you have to take in like Zoom as well too. It's a brand and a platform that you download once. And
yeah, but you've gone to it multiple times.
Yeah, but once I have it saved, it's like it's a utility, right? So it's not like a brand. It's a utility piece, and I think that differentiates from a lot of things. If it's like a brand, like a consumer marketing brand, your brand name matters a lot. Like Zoom, we're in a pandemic. We need video. Screw it, I'll use Zoom.
No, but like I think Zoom has has a great brand name, but does Zoom.us matter? Definitely not. Like the brand name Zoom, yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But does the domain Zoom.us matter? Nah, not so much. Like
It matters when it's a product that or a name that sounds very similar to a lot of other names. You want to have it locked in first so you can actually have that real estate on the webs on the online. Yeah, they're not going to go to like www.alex-sweater-.com, or they're not going to go to like something that doesn't end into either a .co.com. So you need to choose a web address that is memorable, and you can easily use like GoDaddy, Namecheap as one of those platforms to actually buy these web domains and start your business over there. So thinking about these certain things, it's really important, because if you're going into dropshipping as a business, you have to think about it like, how long are you in this for? So that's going to dictate what kind of web and kind of brand you choose.
that's a fact, fam. So this is part 1 of the podcast. Let's wrap it up on here. We're going to come back with a guest podcast that dives deeper into drop shipping and what the use case is. One thing I actually want to leave you guys on is that drop shipping is a great use case for testing out a product, for creating an actual brand. And that's one thing I just want to leave you guys on. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're going to see you in part 2, where we have an interview with a guest diving deep into it. Can't wait to talk to you. The hustle is what you can't control, so control your grind and control your life. Peace out, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. The conversation continues on our Instagram at 247hustler. We post very frequently. And be sure to check out our merch at hustleovereverything.co. We have some amazing sweaters, hats, mugs, and a lot more. Lastly, our Proud to Pay program is linked in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Talk to you next Monday. Peace.